Well, welcome back to this week's episode of Whizbit's Random Gaming, and today I'm in an area that I used to work in and around, and that is Lewisham, and I'll be checking out their CEX. If you haven't already and you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing to the channel, sharing the video, giving it a like, hit that bell notification, all that good stuff. It's really appreciated. So as we have a look inside this particular branch of CEX, one thing I've noticed that you don't see in all of the stores is that with their special edition sets, they seem to take the statue type figures out on display, as you can see here. It's quite a unique take. I haven't seen that in any other branch where they do that, so that you can actually see what's inside. Most shops you go to, they will keep the stuff inside, and you'll have to have previous knowledge of those sets, you know, in order to buy them. Either that or ask the staff in store, which, depending on your store, can be a hassle. Right, continuing with the window display, you got this Pro controller here for the PS5, and I must admit it looks really nice. However, the type of gamer that I am, I would not be using the functions it comes with, not on a regular basis anyway. Hold up, Iron Man seems to have left something behind. Very strange limited collector's edition there, but nevertheless a very unique piece. Now here's a game I still haven't played, and that's The Last Guardian. Someone told me it was quite boring, a good friend of mine, so I think I lost interest a little while back once they told me about that. Let me know in the comments, guys, if that is correct. Is it a good game? Should I pick it up? I know it's quite cheap now, so let me know. Recently picked this one up, Like a Dragon, one of the Yakuza games, something I really need to get into. I haven't played a great deal of the Yakuza games, and I'm going to start picking them up as I go along. Now, one of the things once I walked into this store, I couldn't see any retro. I was like, where is everything? All I saw was your kind of games, your disc-based stuff, and they had them at the back of the store, which is not common. They normally have the retro stuff at the front of the store. However, once I got to the back, I was pleasantly surprised. As you can see here, and I will take you through each part of the cabinet, they had a really good selection of retro and current gen stuff. Now here is that same control pad I was talking about that was in the window. Now obviously this one is an unboxed version, and I'll say it again, it's a really nice control pad. I just don't want to pay £170 for something that I would use, but obviously not get the best out of. Fair play to anyone that does pick something like this up. I'm sure you've got your reasons behind it and you'll get more use out of it than say I would. It's just not for me at that price. Right, as we get down to the more retro stuff here, we got your Pokemon N64. Plenty of Pokemon games down there as well, reasonably priced, I believe. I don't know a great deal about Pokemon, it's not really my thing. However, I am looking to pick up some Dreamcast games. Nothing here today that I was interested in, but I do need to bolster my collection at some point soon. solid collection of GameCube games there. One of the heavy hitters there in Zelda on the Wii U. There's not many heavy hitters on the Wii U, but the ones that are classed as heavy hitters, they are pricey. And a section of Vita games in the glass cabinet. I've never seen that before. Vita games, you know, they tend to get chucked on shelves next to your PSP games and your UMDs. It's a real forgotten system in a lot of ways. Right, let's head on over and have a look at the PlayStation 2 section. Always love browsing CEX stores, PS2 sections. Love to see what sort of gems I can find. It's probably the console that I collect the most for, that and the 360. So let's see what we can find today. I've been debating for a little while about picking up this Street Fighter Alpha collection. But I've got most of them games on various Street Fighter collections, so I don't know how much I'd get out of it. The King of Fighters game there that you saw next to that Street Fighter collection, I picked that up at the last London gaming market. Very pleased with that purchase. I got it for a tenner and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Right, well, someone slipped up here. Quite blatantly, this isn't an English version of the Simpsons game now, is it? Batman Begins there on the PS2. Really good value for money, that game. I really enjoy that one. Got Maximo there, really good game, that one. Thoroughly enjoyed playing through that, and I've just got the sequel that I'm about to start playing on as well. Not a great deal here within the Wii U section, but that's commonplace in most CEXs, unfortunately. However, a solid Wii selection. Let's see what we can find here. I love looking through the Wii and, you know, getting dug in. Oh, here we go. There's a game that I need. I've got the first one and it's brilliant. Let's see though. Yeah, I really do enjoy getting stuck into the Wii sections because there's so much shovelware and you can dig through it and you can find those rare gems. A lot of people talk trash about the Wii, but it did have some fantastic games amongst all of that generic stuff that came out on the system. But yeah, it can be quite tiresome going through the generic stuff. Let's not kid ourselves. Family Trainer. Could do with this for my kids. Alright, let's head on over to the Switch section. I've got a fair few vouchers that I've recently purchased. I've built up a nice collection. So if I see a good Switch game that I'm in the market for, I'll pick that one up today. Now there's a Switch game that I'm going to pick up in the future. I wasn't going to buy it today, if I'm totally honest with you. I've still got a few games that I want to pick up and I'm looking out for, and I want to use the vouchers on, if I'm honest with you, before that. Now this is a fantastic deal. It's gone down to £10. I paid $15 for it, and I still think that was a great deal anyway. That's Killer Frequency on a Nintendo Switch. If you haven't got that already, I highly recommend you pick that one up. At £10, it's an absolute bargain. Now here's a game I've never personally seen before. £32. I'm not going to dive in and spend that sort of money on it without doing a bit of research first. So yeah, I've made a mental note of it. I'll go home, I'll have a look and see what that game's all about. Now as you can see, nothing amazing here today on the Switch, nothing that stood out for me anyway, so it looks like I'm going to be going home empty-handed in terms of Switch games. And how is that WWE game still at such a high price for such a non-functioning mess? So right next to the Switch section we've got the Xbox Series games. Always enjoy having a look through here, whereas I used to ignore the section quite a lot, and that was down to Game Pass, but stuff is so cheap on there now that it's worth picking up just to have the physical copies. I mean, as good as Game Pass is, one thing I have learned from it is that, you know, the games are not going to be there forever. They have got a limited shelf life. Right, as normal with most CEX stores, the PS4 is, if not the largest section in the shop. I was looking at Cyberpunk today. I don't have it in the collection. It's at a price now that I believe is reasonable for someone like myself who hasn't got a great deal of interest in that game, but I wouldn't mind it in the collection, you know. And I'm under the impression, let me know in the comments, but I believe that it's totally fixed now. I know it was an absolute mess when it first came out. And not a bad selection of OG Xbox stuff here. Now here's one I'm going to pick up today. I think the Raw game. I used to have this. I traded it in when I sold a hell of a lot of games. The House of the Dead one that looked interesting as well, although I've got the remake on the Switch and I've got a version of it on, I think it's the Dreamcast. I know I've definitely got some versions of that on the Wii as well, so do I really need another House of the Dead game? Now let's see what they've got on the 360. Fantastic game right there, Sleeping Dogs. If you haven't got that in the collection, get out there and buy it. Now, I'm really looking out for shooters at the moment on the Xbox 360. They're going up in price massively, and I want to get them before they become far too pricey. Unfortunately, a lot of CEXs you go to, you don't really see them out and about. You just got to keep your eyes peeled. Now, if you're starting a gaming collection on the cheap and you've got a 360 to hand, the Batman games, the Arkham series, is a fantastic way of getting hours and hours of gameplay for value for money. I think if you was to buy all three of them, you'd probably be looking at under £10, and what a trilogy. Got The Godfather 2, we've just gone past there. I picked it up a little while ago, started playing it. It's not as good as the original, I would say, so far, but definitely worth the £8 that I paid for it. I almost missed this section for some reason. It's not exactly awkwardly placed, but whilst I was looking through everything else, I wasn't seeing any PS3 games. But eventually I browsed around and then I saw the PS3 section. So let's see what they've got. Again, if you're starting a game collection and you've got one of these generation's consoles to hand, the Uncharted series, they're probably going to cost you less than a £5 for all three of those games, and they're all brilliant. So far, nothing that really stands out on the PS3, not for me anyway. But nevertheless, a good selection, but mostly your common titles. So I don't normally film the DS sections when I go in, pretty much because it's a system I don't collect for. However, I thought they had a really large section for the DS, and I thought I'll film it just to let you guys know what this store has got if you're a DS collector. Now over onto the PS5. I really want to increase my PS5 physical collection. I just don't see much that I want. There's one game that I will be picking up soon. It's going down. I want it to get into the 20s mark, into that £20 area, and that's RoboCop. It's a 32 currently, but I'm going to hang out. I'm in no rush to play it. I've got a huge backlog, but it's definitely going to be coming home with me sooner rather than later. So let's see what I picked up today. As I alluded to earlier in the video, I was always going to pick this one up, WWE or WWF at the time, Raw, and I've got the Conduct 2 and Victorious boxers. That is the Lewisham branch, one that I've been to quite a few occasions, although not recently. It's always been a good shop. Today didn't have the best stock that I've ever seen it have, but it is definitely a branch you should consider visiting. I'm going to be going back. I'm going to wait a while though. It's always best for these ones that are a little bit further out for me. Give them a month or two, because you know the stock will have rotated, it will have changed, and hopefully it will be a better experience. In the meantime, guys, if you enjoyed the video, take the time to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.